Well, I think I'm ready to come out of hiding now. Hey, I feel like I've been hiding off live stream, that is. Say hi. I can see there's people here. I've been hiding. It was weird. I feel like I've been hiding from live stream, and I'm a little bit nervous about fucking being here right now. It's so weird. I know, that's what I mean. I'm like, fucking haven't done a live stream for so long, and I feel like I've been hiding, and I feel like I've been scared, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And it's funny, just when I was driving here, then I had a realization that, like, well, I've been feeling it, and I even said, hey, Belinda. I even said it a little while ago, I think. Like, it just feels like something, it feels like there's big changes coming in my, in my career or what I do, like what I do here. And I don't know what that is, but I can feel it sitting there. And I got another confirmation of that this morning, and I'm just like, okay, well, and I say I feel like I've been hiding, and I haven't been on live stream. I've been still posting and stuff, and I'm like, why have I been hiding? I'm like, I just feel like I've been in like a cave, and I know we've had the eclipse and all that fucking jazz, and I've also been working through some fucking heavy shit. Yeah, you've been withdrawn too. Okay, cool. I appreciate hearing that. And I was even thinking when I was like getting ready this morning to come on live stream, I was like, I feel like I've been hiding, and I'm like, why is that? And I'm like, well, I've been processing so much fucking shit and the eclipse and blah, 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 blah. But at the same time, yeah, Jolene's the same. Okay, cool. I'm not alone. And I realized, I'm like, well, that's not fair on you guys, right? Because, like, and I know, and I don't want you to turn around and say, oh, you've got to take time out and all that sort of shit. Nah, because I don't feel that in a sense, right? Because for me, being in alignment, being on purpose and living my life purpose is fucking turning up for you guys. Like, that's who I am. That's what I'm here for. It's like, no matter kind of how much shit I've got going on in my own life, or the biggest fucking shit that I'm processing, if I'm not sharing that with you, then I'm hiding. And if I'm not sharing that with you, you guys can't. Well, it's not that you guys can't do it on your own, but I know that a big part of my purpose is to help people through their shit. Like, that's kind of what I fucking do, right? And being able to, work through your stuff so that you can live your life purpose too, because everybody's got a life purpose. Everybody's got, they're here for a reason, right? And if I'm hiding, well, that means that you guys are hiding. Well, I don't know. Like, what do you guys do is kind of not my responsibility in a sense, but if I'm not turning up and doing my bit, then I can't inspire you guys to do the same. But, you might have your own inspiration. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Anyway, I think that the reason that I feel like I've been hiding is because I've also been in this fucking, like, I can feel it in my bones that something is going to shift dramatically very soon. Like, something huge is coming. And I don't, like, just in my, I don't know if it's what I teach or whatever. Like, I mean, I've been hiding, but it's only been hiding from live streams. I've been doing lots of, been doing so many psychic tarot readings and all that shit. And it's just like, like I've just been going through so much as well. And in turn can also help you, as you said to me before. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you fully helped me. And that's, that's a big part of it. I guess there's something else I'm wanting to say. I can feel it sitting there. But the other thing that has been coming to mind recently, in the past week, and it's weird because I don't know if I always talk about them, but like the animal kingdom for me is really strong. Like, it's kind of like a really big, I don't know, part of who I am or part of my life or something. And the other part and aspect too, like I say, I'm ready to come out of hiding now. I feel like, just not doing my live streams is hiding. And I feel like there's a part of me that I don't want to say it. It's so weird. So, like, I went into hiding. Like, I didn't even know I was kind of doing it right. I just kind of, you know, whatever I did. Whatever. But it was like there was a part of me not feeling confident in who I was and kind of changing to fit molds, changing to fit other people's molds, and, like, scared of being accepted or not accepted. And I'm like, what the fuck is that about? Like, you know, I'm like, that is so not me. And I posted, oh yeah, you guys would have seen it, the Recalling Your Energy. I posted the Recalling Your Energy meditation, right? And if you didn't grab that, then I'll post a link in the comments for that. Because in the email that I send that to you, there's also a link to a YouTube video that I put up about, you know, I guess losing yourself, and how to tell, you know, like if you're carrying someone's energy and if you're feeling in a slump and stuff. Like, I know we've just been through the eclipse and all that sort of thing, but it's also, you know, a big factor of, you know, like losing yourself is very easy to do when we don't have the self-confidence or trust in ourselves, or that we are completely accepted exactly as we are, completely, you know, loved and appreciated for who we are. Because at its core, the only reason we will change to fit somebody's mold is because we feel like we're not acceptable as we are. We'll feel that we're not acceptable being 100% completely who we are, and fear steps in instead of trust. And I fucking know that all this shit that I've been going through and I'm talking about now is all base chakra. Like, I know we're in sacral chakra because I'm teaching the Calling in Your Soulmate, you know, like doing that right now at sacral, and, you know, the next round of Calling in Your Soulmate starts on the 21st of September. If you really want to fucking dig deep into your womb and clear out all your attachments and step into, you know, your truth, that's the one for you. Because the other factor in this is, you know, like what I just said then about, you know, it's very base chakra. It's either fear or trust at its core, and it's life purpose and it's safety and security. So it's feeling safe in yourself, because when we work through the chakras and we come down, our base chakra is at the base, obviously, but we come down, and that's where we live and we be comfortable who we are. So we're in our body and we're comfortable who we are or we're not. And the other thing is it's funny because we've now stepped into ear chakra month for the light field yoga, and I hadn't even felt like I wanted to post about it on Monday, but it was like there was more kind of eclipse. It was like, talk about the eclipse, and I'm like, okay, I'll just trust, right? And I'm like, oh well, that's so the ear chakras is fucking trust, because the ear chakras, right, we've just stepped out of third eye, we're now in ear chakras, and the ear chakras are connected to the heart and the base chakra, which is what I always speak about, yeah? And the ear chakras are listening, the ear chakras are opening, the ear chakras are receiving, the ear chakras are, you know, all of that. It's a very feminine energy. But I was going to say, you know, if there's one word to describe the ear chakras, it would be listening. But then I was like, oh, it feels trust, but it's both, yeah? Because in listening is trust. In being open is trust. Because when we're open and we're listening to who we are, to who they are, to who the world is, to everything like that, there's a trust and a let go, if you like, that nothing needs changing, nothing needs fixing. And it is a very, I don't know what the word is, very solid, can't describe the word for the sense of the feeling that I'm getting, but it's a very, I guess, trust that keeps coming to mind, right? And I know it's interconnected with the base chakra and all that sort of thing, but it is listening at its core. You're full of life and get out there too. Yeah, I thought that this morning, Tabitha, when I was, hey, beautiful. It's like this, what are we now? So this is, I'm fucking so lost for time, hey. Has anyone else felt like that? Like lost for time or out of time, like out of reality time, like just kind of in a daze? Like, I know we've been in the eclipse kind of portal and whatever the fuck. It's so weird, right? Because I've got this stuff going on right now. And maybe this is what's shifting for me, I don't know. It's so weird, right? I'm like, it's weird because I'm doubting what I fucking teach. In a sense of like, well, is that real? And I say that in a space of like, I think that's what's kind of sent me into the hole, to be honest, or into hiding. And I know that eclipse, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, I'm doubting what I teach in a sense of like, well, I'm talking about the eclipse and stuff. And like, I know astrologers have been talking about it and, you know, it's fucking all over the place and, you know, what it means for the shift in consciousness of humanity and all that sort of shit. And it's kind of like, I'll say it and I'll be like, well, is it? Like, yeah. And I think, and I'm wondering, and I'm still not clear, but I'm like, I can't fucking hide anymore. I need to be honest. It's like, and I think because I speak about this, and I've spoken about this recently, you know, like, is out there, and that's what I mean. It's like, who really knows? Who really knows what, you know, is it out there or is it in here? Like, yeah, the eclipse is going on and the sun feels real and all that sort of shit. And I think that comes into the ear chakras, I guess, and listening and being opening and trusting, you know. And I think that in the ear chakras, there's not much that you need to do. You just need to listen and be open. And I think that the doubt and stuff that I was talking about, doubting what I teach, in a sense of like, you know, talking about the eclipse and all that sort of thing, and it's creating this massive shift of consciousness and humanity and the planets are lining up and all this fucking shit. Okay, so my doubt is coming in because I'm, I guess, taking on other people's judgments, that I'm blaming something outside of myself for how I'm feeling. I speak about that too. There's all that shit going on out there, but ultimately you can't blame anything outside of yourself for feeling the way you're feeling. I teach that. I totally get that. However, for me not to be able to express that, you know, there is all these other aspects going on in my reality, that when I read something it fucking resonates for a reason, then how can that not be true for me? And I think that this is part of, you know, I've kind of gone into this hole of going, well, what is right for me? You know, like what is that and where's that sitting? Because, you know, like it's like this is how I've built my business, this is how I've lived my life. And, you know, the other part of that is that I kind of, this hiding that I feel like I've been in, and it's so interesting because this is such the like so sacred, so base, you know, of, you know, coming in and just seeing what's real. And it's like, you know, distinguishing what's real for me, what's not. You know, does that make sense? Has anyone else been in that? It's not wrong to question anything. You'll make your mind to feel what is right. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, you know, ultimately everything is within us. And what did they say? It's not about somebody else. It's not, I don't know what the word is, the thing that I'm thinking of. Because it's like, you know, you've got that thing of, it's not what happens, it's what you do about it. And it's also not what somebody else says or does, it's how you react to it, and that's what you need to kind of be mindful of. Kristen says, so hearing you on that one, done that last night, realizing, hold on, it's not about them. Yeah, it's not about them, it's not about, you know, and it's about being and doing what's right for you. And I think a big part for me too is, this might sound really weird, but like social media is my life. In a sense of like my business and my life, there is no real separation. Now some people will be like, oh, you need boundaries around that and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, that doesn't feel right for me. I'm like, I'm not the fucking normal 9-to-5 worker. Like I fucking live a completely out of normal reality life. And that's a big part of who I fucking am. And for me to try and change that and fit into somebody else's mold, which is exactly what I've just been doing, and why is what's happened. Is, I don't know if it's losing myself or not being myself, sent me into a little bit of a hole, but that eclipse and the whole month of August actually is reevaluating, is reassessing, is, feeling what's right for us, what's not right for us. It's all of that, yeah? And it feels like, like with this new moon, and I was saying that before, Tabitha, like waking up, it's like, oh, it's time to get back to it now. Like, and I share that as well in the, in like tuning to the moon and stuff like that, that it's like 3 days either side of, the peak time. So the peak time for new moon was Monday, Tuesday night, Monday night, Tuesday morning here in Australia. And it's like kind of 3 days either side of that is kind of like the intense. And then it's like, when we move out and away for something, it's like out of the 3 day kind of period, it's like, like energetically we're out of that. Which is interesting because, as a baby and, as a mother having a child and all that sort of thing, like your children are, kind of in your aura and in your energetic field until 3 years old. So when they're 3 years old, they actually kind of release themselves from your aura. And that's when mums are like, oh, like, who am I again? Oh, yeah, I'm a bit more than a mum. They start businesses and all this sort of shit. Because you get your energy back. It's kind of out of that 3. I don't know, there's something about the 3. You're not on your own. I work night shifts, so totally get that. You should never feel like you have to be in somebody else's mold, especially when you know it's not right for you. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, and there's a part of me going, oh, I can't believe I did that. But at the same time, it is what it is. And it's made me reevaluate and reassess what's important to me, and kind of come back stronger, because that's what happens every time, and I kind of say like being hiding, but it's just a matter of going unconscious. You go unconscious about things. And about to film the throat chakra, which is all about the shadow, which we've stepped into ear chakras, which is the throat chakra, which is, are you living your truth? Are you speaking your truth? Are you hiding behind a mask, which is shadow? Are you trying to be somebody else, and it will create a lot of unhappiness when you're trying to be somebody that you're not. And I was saying before too about the animals, like that feels really strong at the moment. Like for some reason, I feel like I talk about it all the time, but I don't. It's just such a big part of my life and a big part of how I receive intuitive messages and that sort of thing. So I actually bought my animal book. Oh, I didn't turn this around. Let me turn it around. I bought my animal book. So if you guys, I didn't bring any cards, but if you guys have got an animal that comes to mind, I can see what message comes through for you. If you want to comment below if you've got it. Okay. Oh yeah, there we go. If you've got an animal that comes to mind. So there was an ant just before here, like a flying ant, but I think it would just be under ant. Okay. How interesting an ant was for me, obviously, but maybe it's for you guys too. It's time to get to work on that project you've been thinking about and see it through to completion. So the other thing that's been going on for me too is I'm kind of like still adjusting to the whole like, a day is in New Zealand again. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. I'm like, like it's, I know it's a big change. And I guess for me now it's regular. Like I haven't had regular arrangement breaks with her, like planned regular arrangement breaks for, I don't know, nearly 2 years or longer. So to now to have, you know, like every 6 weeks she'll be in New Zealand for a month. So I was still getting my head around that. I'm like, oh, that's right. 6 weeks came around like that, and now she's in New Zealand again. I'm like, oh. And I realised too last week, and I said this in my private group when I did a live stream last week, that when she goes away, like now, because now I can kind of plan for it. I'm like, oh, I can actually plan to have a break, but, you know, just not a break from work, because no, it doesn't work for me. But just minimum work, right? Minimum workload, and actually just go and do something that I want to do on my own, basically, is, you know, the kind of message there. For me, I was just like, okay, right, now I can actually have a break, you know, off mum duties is such a big deal. Hey, like if you're a mum or dad, you know that having a fucking break from your kids is a big deal. It's a big fucking deal. When you don't get any time to yourself, and then you have time to yourself and you want to do something nice and you kind of can't, or you don't have someone to do it with, or you want to do it with someone and you can't, you know, there's like all this stuff going on. But anyway. All right, so and for me is what I saw before. It's time to get to work on that project you've been thinking about and see it through to completion, because I realised, and the point of my story about that is like I planned to do all this work and then I just fucking collapsed after she left, and I'm like, oh, I need a break, you know, from mum duties, and just to kind of reset myself, like, and get back into me a little bit, because even as much as we, you know, do take breaks as parents, we still fucking, you know, we still got to care for them. It's a 24/7 job, even if they go to school or not, you know. All right. Hey, Sonia and Amy. There's a lot of people there. All right. So, and okay. So 6. Okay, and this is what. Okay, if you just joined me, I brought my animal spirit guide book down. So if there's an animal that comes to mind, I can see what message it has for you this morning. I just saw Ant there for me before. So Ant is also seek support from your closest friends and family rather than isolating yourself. Yes. Trust that you'll succeed in accomplishing your dreams. Woohoo! I can feel that in my core so strongly. Be patient with yourself, those around you, and with any work projects in which you're involved. Yeah, so just allowing and taking that little break there. So, all right, so what do we got? Matt says, seagulls would be a funny one, especially after this week. Okay, seagull for you. So if you comment, I do see them. I just try and keep them in order. So seagull is you're opening up communication with the realm of nature spirits, particularly the fairies and water sprites. It's time to clean up your home environment and let go of and recycle as much as you possibly can. It's important to clear up any misunderstandings you've had with someone you're close to that resulted from poor communication. Pay close attention to those you interact with, particularly noticing any non-verbal cues and voice intonations, and trust what your senses are picking up. It's very ear chakra, that, listening beyond the words, listening behind the words. So someone might say something, but what are they really saying? It's the message I'm getting for you there, Matt. And this last one, spend a significant amount of time at the seashore meditating, allowing the rhythms of the waves and the wind to be your guiding pulse. So I'm not sure if you've got ocean next to you, but listening to like ocean meditation, like music, can help with that too. Okay. Hey Tammy, pelicans. So I did bring my liquid crystal book because the animals obviously connected to that, and I already know, jumping out at me for you Tammy, what did you say? Pelican is albatross in the liquid crystals, which is adventurine, which is unlimited self. So let me just check here. Is it adventurine? Maybe it's not. Albatross, unlimited self. What is that? It is adventurine, sorry. I just couldn't see it there. Yeah. If adventurine has come to you today, it's time to give thanks for your unlimited potential, release all fears, and once again take up the reins of life in a bold and brave fashion. In adventurine's presence, you are asked to trust in your divine potential, empower your wonderful gift of free will, and create whatever world you wish around you. I'm curious what number card you picked yesterday for the free tarot, because number 6 is very much around that. Like you have the Like it was the Magician, Archangel Raziel. I can't remember what card you chose. I'm sure I would have seen you do one there. Oh, this is interesting, jumping out for me too to read to you. So remember also that adventuring is also the stone of the first 7 years of life. You are being guided to release any pains or fears, forgive and go forwards whilst this great energy is with you. So that kind of makes sense with what you shared the other day to me. I'm just going to check here for Pelican. I guess the reason that I wanted to talk about the animals is because the animal spirit world's been like really strong. Like it's always really strong for me, but it's been getting the message to share it with you guys more. So perhaps, you know, when we kind of, okay, so the ear chakras is opening listening, but at its core, it's about, you know, like when I wrote the ear chakra consciousness book, all the stuff that came through was like listening to Mother Earth, listening to like the cycles, listening to like so much stuff was about listening. I might post a link to the comments about the ear chakra book too. I'll do that today. And the meditations, because the meditations in there are so profound, like to be able to connect in, you know, and like travel the ear grids to kind of different realms, but, you know, listening to the north, listening to the east, south, west, you know, I know that's internal compass, but it did kind of stem from there as well. So I'll post a link to that comments in there for you too. It's the ears. So Tammy, this is an opportunity to forgive either yourself or someone else and release any built up guilt or resentment. Feels like, you know, what you've just kind of shifted through actually. It's time to free yourself from whatever is weighing you down, whether possessions, emotions or mental strife. Go ahead and take the plunge with respect to opportunity that has presented itself. Focus on cooperating with others rather than competing, particularly concerning a project you're involved in right now, yeah? Okay, hey Perla. It was 1 and 6. Oh yeah, so that makes sense there, Tammy. Alright, cool. I'll get to all the comments there. Alright, so Sonia, little Corella, native Australian parrots, feeling really strong connection there. Yeah, the native Australian parrots, like the, what's it called? The rainbow lorikeet, do you mean? Because that one won't be in here because this is an American-based book. But what is he, Scott Alexander King? If you haven't got any of his books, Animal Dreaming or any of his stuff, he's got a specific Australian one actually, which I love. I didn't bring that with me. Pretty sure Corella's in here though. I say this is an American-based book, but there is some. There's Cockatoo. I thought Corella, but maybe not. Any parrot, by the way, is connected to Kunzite, I'm pretty sure, and the liquid crystals, which is heart activation, I think, or heart healing, heart activation, I think. So a bit of heart stuff for you there. I'm just going to check if there's, be in the front, Hannah. Corella, before I read Cockatoo. No. Corella might be in the Australian one actually, but Cockatoo is here. Let go of your agenda and do something spontaneous and out of the ordinary. I was getting that message kind of collectively too, like everything's been so heavy and serious and fucking like deep and dark and fucking just shit and like just, it's been heavy, you know, and hopefully now with this eclipse it's kind of like, okay, can we like do some sort of normal life again? In a sense of like, not normal, but like it has to lighten up, you know, like, and that spontaneity and the joy and like, let's get out of the depression and the sadness and like, can we just have fun with life a little bit again, you know, like it really feels that, you know, it's like, where's the lightness gone, you know, and it's not about pushing the darkness away or, you know, the shit that's gone down. It's not about pushing it away or forgetting it. It's not what I'm talking about. It's kind of like, okay, so how can I lighten up again? Because it's been so fucking heavy and it's just being like all these dynamics going on with, you know, trying to figure stuff out, and it's like, you know, it's just like being a fucking wall, right? So that's a message for you, Sonia, but also collectively really been feeling that strongly. It's time to get back into the playfulness of life. So Sonia, you've also got do something special to demonstrate your love and care for your mate or one of your closest friends. You're about to embark on an important learning process, whether through formal education or self-study, which will require your dedication and perseverance and yet be stimulating and fulfilling. Very interesting. Curious what that is for you. Bolster your self-esteem by refusing to demean, put down or criticise yourself for at least one full day. The lover you're with is a keeper and will be responsible and affectionate mate. Because these birds, they live for like 100 years and they mate for life, I'm pretty sure. Like they, you know, like they're really dedicated. I just wanted to say for some reason as well, if you ever have a book like this or even like a crystal book, if you don't have the cards, but it comes with the cards anyway, but I'm just giving examples. If you just need a message, you can just randomly open to wherever and just kind of read what jumps out. So jumps out right now in the pheasant is just for fun, dress up in a bit of playful and colourful clothes and take yourself out or go out with friends to a public place. So that just kind of confirms the lightening things up message, right? There's a full eagle flying around here too. I don't know if it's an eagle or a seahawk or something, but making its presence known. So, okay, Sonia says she wants to adopt one now. Wondering which one, a Corella or a native parrot, because I tell you what, those big parrots, because they live for so long, like I used to work in a pet shop. You might already know, but having a parrot, especially, you know, a big one, a Corella or pretty much any parrot, but those, like I used to have an Alexandrine parrot and they live for 40 years and I was prepared to have him for 40 years and he flew away 3 times and I got him back each time, and then on the 4th time when he flew away, I'm like, I just knew that was it, like he was gone, and ended up finding him, but the family lost their parrot and I was like, I just think he's meant to be with you, and then 6 months later he flew away from them and I'm like, okay, he's on his own journey. But the point of saying, you know, those parrots have a brain of like a 2 to 3 year old, so just be prepared to have a 2 to 3 year old for like, you know, 40 years, 100 years, 80 to 100 years. They're, you know, like they're long living animals, those ones. You might already know that, but all right, Amy, moths. Let's see. Moths have been coming to me as well, just in the past couple of days, actually. Okay, moth for you, Amy. A letter, email or package will be coming shortly bringing important news. Trust your sense of smell and avoid anything that smells bad. That's inverted commas. So whatever has been hidden or veiled is about to be revealed to you. If you're single, focus your attention of attracting a romantic partner, and once you do, trust your senses as to whether or not it's a good match. If you're in a romantic or intimate relationship, enhance the attraction by using essential oils as aromatherapy rather than perfumes or colognes. So go a bit more natural, which you might already do. So it just, the one that's more standing out for me about that for you, whatever has been hidden or veiled is about to be revealed, is what's coming to mind strongly there. It just feels like you're going to receive some information soon. Again, the email package, but it just feels like some information's going to come and kind of go, oh, how come I didn't see that before? Or you kind of already know, and it just kind of will confirm for you, yeah? I live by the sea, but you're moving next year. All right, what else have we got? All right, so Leone, can't lock on one. Elephant, giraffe, big animals. So elephant in here, I actually opened to this page yesterday for myself actually. Elephant, make it a point to be of service in some way to the young, elderly or those less fortunate. Do not let anything stand in the way of attaining this goal that is so integral to your purpose. Curious what's unfolding for you. You have the determination and persistence required to overcome the current challenges you're faced with. Trust your senses, and if something in your life smells bad, take the necessary action to do away with it. Remain loyal to those closest to you in spite of anyone questioning their integrity. It's a good time to renew your sense of connectedness to the divine. So getting out in nature or whatever you need to do to connect back to yourself, ultimately, is what I'm sensing there, because that's, when you connect to the divine or whatever that is for you. So giraffe as well is keep your head up, have faith. Okay, so the other message I just got for you then, Leonie, is these are African animals. So I'm wondering if there's a connection to Africa or something about the African energy or something to do with that. I'm not sure if Africa has anything specific or meaningful to you, but these are African animals that you've picked. So maybe that's sort of a thing around. All right, so giraffe is keep your head up, have faith, and trust your gut regarding the situation you're dealing with at present. You'll have to reach a bit, but you will achieve your goal. Keep your eye on the possibilities that are just on the horizon. So kind of getting the message for that too is kind of to keep your eye on the horizon, not get bogged down in what's going on here, like kind of almost detached from it, and just kind of keep your, like, it's not about ignoring it, but just don't get caught up in it, basically. It's better not to act too hastily in this situation. So again, confirming that. Spend some social time with friends and family, and make it a point to be a better listener and to be clearer in your communication in both professional and personal relationships. So again, that's very ear chakra as well, listening. Got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. So I hope that helps you a bit there. All right. So Tammy says, and it's a personal and universal 1 year for you. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Definitely is the universal 1 year, because we ended a 9-year cycle last year. Dragons, yeah. Oh yeah, me too, because we were watching Game of Thrones. It's the only reason I really like Game of Thrones is because there's dragons in it. So dragons is the very mystical, it is in this book. You're emerging into a new phase of your life, one where you'll be taking more risks and be more vulnerable, yet you can be well protected. Do more of the kinds of activities that bring passion into your life. You have a past life connection to a time when earth-based spiritual practices were predominant. I'm pretty sure you know that. And you're entering into a period of considerable prosperity. Spend some regular time in meditation or contemplation, and you'll soon receive some valuable insights, inspiration. And the message that I'm getting around the dragon for you specifically is that you're bringing those, what did it say? You have a past life connection when a time when earth-based spiritual practices were predominant. It's like you're drawing on that knowledge and that energy now, and you're bringing that into your practice. Like you're doing that now. Is the kind of message that I'm getting. Like, so if you're meditating, you can actually, go to the Akashic records and do that sort of thing. Do you know how to do that? I'm like, I don't know if I've got a meditation that I've created about going to the Akashic records, but I don't think I have created one specifically for the Akashic records. The Akashic records, if you don't know, are, almost like a universal library that you can go there in meditation, and it has all the information, knowledge, wisdom from past, present, future. Like it all resides there. Thanks, Perla. You're welcome, Amy. You're welcome, Leone. For sure, Amy. Just did that for you. Okay, so how about an eagle? Yeah, well, because there's eagle, right? For Kristen, but there's the one that was actually flying around, I'm pretty sure it's like a sea hawk, and I'm pretty sure there's hawk in here too. I guess they would both be similar, but because there's hawk. It also see goshawk and osprey. So there's lots of these ones. They're all specific. I'm just going to have a quick look at goshawk. See, I love the animals because I just got goosebumps saying that, because it's very, ear chakras is connecting with nature, basically. I'm definitely going to put the link to the ear chakra book in there, because the meditations that came through when I was writing the ear chakra consciousness book fucking blew me away, hey. All right, let's look at osprey, because I'm just seeing what the actual one looked like that flew past. Guess it wasn't technically one of those. All right, I'm going to read eagle. Okay, so eagle. There's an opportunity for you that you're considering, and it would be best to take advantage of it soon. There will be a new beginning in a positive direction following a recent period of strife, one in which you've gained a great deal of stamina and resilience. Detach and rise above the mundane so that you're able to see your life and circumstances with a broader perspective and greater vision. It's time for a great spiritual awakening, one where you'll experience a greater connection to the divine. This is an important time to get creative inspiration from the divine, so heed any guidance that you receive. Whatever you put out, positive or negative, will now return to you in some form more quickly than ever. And there's, if there's a bald eagle or a golden eagle. This one's jumping out, the bald eagle. You have an increasing ability to walk between the material world and that of spirit. So it felt so strong that over the eclipse and leading up to it, like the veils were very thin, yeah? Veils are very thin. Yeah, I hope that helps you, Kristen. So an opportunity that comes up, and it'd be wise that you take it. There it is for you. You're welcome, Amy. Hey, there's a few more people here. I've got my Animal Spirit Guide book. If you have an animal that comes to mind, let me know and I shall have a look for you. Yeah, it's pretty true for you. Hey, Kristen. All right, Tabitha is a cat. Cat has come to mind for you. So cat in the liquor crystals is a self-love, I think. Rhodochrosite or rhodochrosite. I think it's rhodochrosite, and that's the self-love stuff. Which I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure you were on the start of my live stream. There's a lot of that going on, and why I kind of hid a little bit, to be honest. Reassessing, making sure I knew what I was doing, like in myself, just kind of second guessing what I was doing actually. Which comes when you don't love and trust yourself. So rhodochrosite is self-love, is the cat in the liquid crystals. In the presence of rhodochrosite on this day, you are being asked to take a step into self-love. Take some time out and do the things that you love individually, as these things allow us to retain the passion we need to live life to its full. In the coming days, you will often be learning the true lessons of compassion and forgiveness, where you will remember that your ability to recognize traits in others simply means that once or possibly still they lived in you. On this important journey into the heart, have faith in yourself and trust the world, let go of attachments, and remember that beyond all things, each of us chooses and creates our path. Self-love is our most personal and important responsibility. That is pretty much what has been going on for me, in that sense of, so where you will remember that your ability to recognize traits in others simply means that once or possibly still they lived in you. And there's very shadow work as well. I was going to say something else there. So we struggle to accept the traits in other people that we know live in us when we have lost that self-love, compassion and awareness of ourselves, right? When we go unconscious, that's when we, have a harder time to hold space for other people, yeah? It's exactly what that is. So if you've just joined, got my Animal Spirit Guides book. It's talking about animals and stuff today. If there's an animal that comes to mind, I will see what message is coming through for you there. So the cat in this book as well, Tabitha, this is a period where self-sufficiency and trust in your own capabilities is necessary. And the one that's jumping out here, listen closely to your intuitive guidance, as it's most likely an ancestor who is one of your spirit guides trying to communicate with you. Yeah? That's the one that... And it says, if feral cat, break away from unhealthy dependencies on others. Which just came to mind. Hey, Alice. Yes, definitely. Kristen, I was just thinking then, with the opportunity. There's an opportunity for you that you're considering, and it would be best if you take advantage of it soon. I'm kind of getting the message that you will know. And if you don't know yet, it's not time to know yet. So if you just jumped on the live stream, you can go and check out the start of the live stream, because it's talking a bit about why I feel like I'm ready to come out of hiding now. I've been in hiding. And the other thing, you know, in that kind of cat and the self-love and the message there from Rhodochrosite is, you know, feels very pertinent to, you know, we've just been in third eye, which is connected to sacral, which we're in calling in your soulmate, which the next round opens on the 21st of September. So I'll post a link in the comments for that too. And it's like, you know, we're seeing the dynamics of, you know, relationships, because that's what third eye is. And in that, you know, like, as I always say, the third eye and the sacral are connected because we're one from the top up and bottom. Thanks, Kylie. Yeah, it is pretty beautiful here today. Beautiful waves. And so one from the top and the bottom. And when we're seeing, you know, the dynamics, we're able to see what nourishes us and what doesn't. And the sacral chakra is all about being nourished at our core, yeah? It's about, you know, when we're not seeing clearly, you know, we go unconscious and all that sort of thing, because that's pretty much all that happens. We're either conscious of stuff or we're not. That in the sacral is, you know, where our attachments are formed. It's where our addictions are formed. It's where we're being who we really are or not, because in the sacral it's that, you know, it's that content. It's like when you're a baby and you're in your mother's womb, the first point of nourishment that you have is your umbilical cord, right? And your umbilical cord, you know, is what nourishes you. Now, in the Calling in Your Soulmate course, I actually do a specific, you know, womb healing, because, you know, if your umbilical cord was, you know, cut really quick, which, you know, most of us and in society was, then we're kind of like jolted into, like, you know, it's like that point of nourishment, and it's like, you know, babies will get hit because they can't breathe, you know, it's kind of like, well, you know, ultimately the placenta comes out, and, you know, like if there's lotus births these days, right? Well, it's always been around, but it's becoming more common. You know, and the placenta is actually, you know, where you're first connected to, and, you know, it's where you get all your nourishment and oxygen and everything from. So, you know, if that umbilical cord is, you know, given time to stop pulsing and even, you know, eventually drop off by itself, which is lotus birth, you know, like your body naturally has time to adjust to coming into the physical world, where if it's just kind of snapped, like, or cut, it's just like a jolt, right? So in the Calling in Your Soulmate course, I do healing around that, because when it's immediately snapped, you're kind of like, oh shit, what am I supposed to do? And it's kind of like that, we're trying to plug into that for the rest of our lives. And, you know, when we can see dynamics going on and see what nourishes us and see what not, we're able to plug into the right thing, which, you know, at the ear chakras now is about listening, it's about connection, it's about being open, it's about, you know, having that nourishment. Thanks, Tabitha. Highly recommend Soulmate course, guys. I friggin' love it. It's working great for relationships with self. Yeah, it's pretty much what it is, you know. It's like people think that Calling in Your Soulmate is that, and whilst it is that, that's like the probably half of module 1, and then the rest of it is focusing on you, because yes, we call in your soulmate, but if you're not doing the inner work on you, well, that's when relationships go unhealthy. That's when, you know, you keep attracting the same situations. It's, you know, and even if you do attract the same situation, or if you're in a relationship, that, you know, calling in your soulmate takes your relationship to the next level. It takes it to a deeper understanding and a more conscious understanding of yourself and, you know, how to be in relationship. Because the thing is, you know, I guess for me, for a long period of time, I was kind of like, you know, turning away from what was right in front of me, because I was like, well, it's not a conscious man, I need a conscious man, and all this sort of shit. And then I'm like, well, hang on a sec. Hang on a fucking sec. I'm the conscious one here. So why am I looking for a conscious man out there? It's like, well, you know, and it's kind of like, I know many conscious women who are not in a relationship with a conscious man. But what fucking deciphers a conscious woman and a conscious man, ultimately? Because if we were conscious 100% of the time, we wouldn't be here. We would be in another fucking dimension, because we're human and we're here to experience consciousness and unconsciousness. It's unrealistic to expect anybody to be conscious 100% of the time, right? So really important, in the calling in your soulmate, and I even go through this in, I think it's module 1 as well, is like deciphering the words, because we get so stuck on fucking words, and words are powerful, right? Words create attachment, like soulmate, twin flame, relationship, lover, dating, like all the fucking words, yeah? They have power. We put power and meaning and attachment to them, and that can fucking we then wear life through lenses, right? Through glasses, and we have attachments to these. So again, third eye, sacral, looking, we're seeing, we're hoping, we're dreaming. It's about kind of letting go of those attachments, yeah, sacral chakra, and learning how to nourish and come from within about everything that we're needing, and kind of in relationship, because this is where it starts. And losing ourselves or forgetting who we are or stepping into a role to please somebody else is when we lose ourselves. And when relationships become unhealthy, sacral, we're plugging into them and forgetting our true connection, right? With self. So the doors are open for calling in your soulmate. We're starting on the 21st of September. So the second round is, starting on the 21st of September. 22nd? 21st of September. I'm pretty sure. Yes. 21st of September. I'll post a link in the comments anyway. All the details are there. So early bird is open now. So if you want to get in, you can grab the early bird price to jump in for calling in your soulmate. So if you have any questions about that at all, you can just personal message me or comment on here if you're watching the replay. And that's the whole thing, like I said, about the ear chakras that now we've stepped into. It's about listening to what feeds you, listening to where your connection is, listening without judgment, for yourself, and, listening to the inner dynamics as well. So I will post a link to the Ear Chakra Consciousness book and audio meditations in the comments as well. So I hope you have a beautiful day, and we can move forward on the upswing of this new moon, because I'm coming out of hiding and I ain't fucking going back to that place, because it almost killed me. It killed my soul, and I'm not fucking doing that again. So I am back. Thank you so much for joining me here. I love you guys heaps. I love you. You are my tribe, and I love you. And I will not stop being me ever again, okay? I promise, and work my ass off to stay conscious on being fucking me, because that's all I can be, right? I was just going to say something else. What was it? Oh, so if you think that this live stream will help somebody, please comment and share, or tag their name in it, and share it, because the more light that gets to the planet, the better to the consciousness, I guess. So lots of love, keep it really fucking real, lots of love, namaste.